Hey, it's Leo. Have you ever come across a mystery so bizarre, it leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew? Today, we're diving into some of the creepiest cold cases ever documented. Cases filled with strange, inexplicable clues that simply don't add up. So, buckle up. Because once you hear these stories, you'll understand exactly why they've baffled investigators for decades. Let's start with one of the most mysterious unsolved crimes. The bizarre case of the lead masks. In Brazil, two men, Miguel José Viana and Manuel Pereira da Cruz, were discovered dead on a hillside. They were found wearing formal suits, waterproof coats, and strange lead masks covering their eyes. Nearby, police found a notebook containing cryptic instructions, including a note that read, 1630, be at agreed place. 1830, swallow capsules. After effect, protect metals, await signal. But here's the twist. No one knows what capsules they took, what the masks were for, or who wrote these chilling instructions. Were these men involved in some bizarre ritual, or was it something even stranger? Speaking of strange, have you ever heard of the Tamam Shud case? In Australia, a well-dressed man was found dead on Somerton Beach, with no obvious cause of death. Authorities found a small scrap of paper in his pocket, torn from a rare book, with the Persian phrase Tamam Shud, meaning ended or finished. When investigators finally located the book, they discovered even stranger clues, an unbreakable code and a mysterious phone number. But the most chilling part? The man's identity remains completely unknown to this day. Who was he, and why was his death so meticulously planned? Just as we think things couldn't get any weirder, let's look at the haunting disappearance of the Sodder children. On Christmas Eve, a fire destroyed the Sodder family home in West Virginia. 5 of the 10 Sodder children supposedly died in the blaze. But here's where the story gets puzzling. No remains were ever found. Fire experts confirm bones should have survived the flames. Years later, the family received eerie letters and photographs suggesting the children might still be alive. Could this tragic event have been staged? And if so, why? If staged disappearances intrigue you, then the disappearance of Dorothy Arnold will truly captivate your imagination. Dorothy was a wealthy socialite from New York City who vanished in broad daylight. After shopping in Manhattan, witnesses reported seeing her walking toward Central Park. But then, nothing. Dorothy simply disappeared without a trace. Despite her family's enormous wealth and power, no clues ever surfaced. Investigators proposed theories ranging from kidnapping to secret elopement. But no theory fully explains how someone could vanish completely from one of the world's busiest cities. How can someone so visible become invisible overnight? Now, let's discuss another baffling cold case. The unsettling disappearance of Tara Calico. Tara was out for a routine bike ride near her New Mexico home when she vanished. Months later, a disturbing Polaroid photo surfaced in a Florida parking lot, showing a girl resembling Tara bound and gagged in the back of a van. The photo caused national outrage, yet neither Tara nor the people responsible were ever identified. Investigators still debate whether the photo was genuine or a cruel hoax. But here's the chilling question. If it was real, who took it and where did they go? But just as you're processing these strange disappearances, let's delve into the perplexing case of Blair Adams. Blair was a Canadian man who became suddenly paranoid, convinced someone was after him. He withdrew his savings, crossed into the United States, and travelled thousands of miles before being found dead in a parking lot in Tennessee. His body was surrounded by scattered cash, gold bars, and jewellery. There was no clear motive, no robbery, and bizarrely, no explanation for his sudden paranoia. What was Blair running from, and who or what finally caught up with him? All these cases share one unsettling truth. they leave us with far more questions than answers. Could they be connected in some way we can't yet comprehend? And why have they resisted resolution for so many years? Don't go anywhere, because the next cases might be even more shocking. And one includes clues so bizarre, they've left investigators utterly baffled. Our next case takes us deep into the mysterious disappearance of Brandon Lawson. Late one night in Texas, Brandon called 911, sounding frantic and confused. His call mentioned being chased by someone, though his words were difficult to understand. Police quickly responded, but Brandon had vanished, leaving behind only his abandoned truck. Despite exhaustive searches, no evidence ever emerged to explain what happened that night. What or who was Brandon fleeing from? And how did he vanish so quickly without a trace? If you think that's chilling, then let's discuss the peculiar disappearance of Brian Shaffer. Brian, a medical student from Ohio, was last seen entering a busy bar with his friends. Surveillance cameras clearly captured him walking inside. But here's the puzzling part. There's no footage of him ever leaving. The bar had only one public entrance, covered by multiple security cameras. Investigators meticulously reviewed every second of footage, yet Brian simply seemed to evaporate into thin air. Could Brian have exited undetected? Or did something more sinister occur inside that crowded bar? Now, let's talk about another baffling incident. The case of Ricky McCormick. Ricky was found dead in a remote cornfield in Missouri, miles from his home. But the strangest clue was found in his pocket. 2 sheets of paper covered in seemingly random letters and numbers. The FBI's best cryptologists tried desperately to decode these messages, convinced they held the key to Ricky's mysterious death. Despite their expertise, the cryptic notes remain unsolved to this day. What vital secret might these notes hold? And why hasn't anyone been able to crack this strange code? Equally bizarre is the vanishing of Lars Mittank. Lars, a young German tourist, was vacationing in Bulgaria when he suffered an ear injury during a fight. Unable to fly immediately, he stayed behind alone. Surveillance footage from the airport shows Lars behaving erratically before suddenly sprinting out of the terminal in sheer panic. Witnesses say he vanished into a nearby forest, never to be seen again. Investigators were baffled. What could have scared Lars so badly he abandoned his luggage and ran for his life? Another inexplicable disappearance involves the Jameson family. The family vanished while on a trip to view property in rural Oklahoma. Days later, their truck was discovered abandoned, locked and filled with personal items, including cash and cell phones. Strangest of all, investigators found disturbing surveillance footage from their home before their disappearance, showing the family packing their vehicle in a trance-like state. Some theorize the family was involved in a cult or under the influence of something sinister. But if that was true, why would they leave all their possessions behind? Then there's the eerie case of the Yuba County Five. A group of 5 friends from California set out to watch a basketball game but never returned home. Their car was later found abandoned in a remote, snow-covered area, far off their intended route. Months later, the remains of 4 of the men were discovered in puzzling locations. However, the 5th man was never found. Investigators were baffled by the seemingly irrational decisions made by the group, including abandoning their perfectly functioning vehicle. What exactly happened to these 5 men on that snowy night? And why did they behave so inexplicably? These cases, each more baffling than the last, force us to question our understanding of reality. Could there be hidden connections linking these mysteries together? Or are they merely isolated incidents that defy logic? Is it possible that clues we perceive as random could be pieces of a larger, more sinister puzzle? Ultimately, these creepy cold cases remind us just how strange and unsettling our world can be. And while we may never find all the answers, the questions themselves will haunt us forever. Be sure to let me know in the comments which case intrigued or disturbed you the most. And stay curious, because the truth might be stranger than we ever imagined.